Okay, so that video started to get really long. So let's pick up the pace here. So, he was basically, we were kind of going through this. I had explained to him that Bean is not in my CoM training course, and that I had explained to you guys why the CoM training course is not that way anymore. And, you know, to be really honest, she moves at a much slower pace than what I require be done, and it's just not ideal for me to train somebody that moves at that slow pace. And I've explained this to her. She's a great member. She's an older lady, and I just don't have her in my CoM training course because she moves at a slower pace, which is fine. But if she needs my help, she knows she can always come to me and ask me for help, you know, like with the screenshot or whatever. But as far as like being like avidly in my training course, she's not, and she hasn't been for months. But like I said, many people know that even if they're not in my training course, they can always come to me for help if they get stuck. Okay, so I wanted him to be aware that she wasn't like being trained as like a Marine soldier in my CoM training course. Like, she's been out of CoM training for months and months. I honestly don't even remember the last time I helped her with an assignment up until this week. But I wanted her to have a fair shot at winning, and I knew that if I was picking his tasks, that it wouldn't be a 100% fair shot. So I wanted to offer my assistance to her so that they would both have a fair shot. Okay? Now, the difference between my advice to him and my advice to her is that she takes my advice. He doesn't. Okay? He argues my advice, and it drives me crazy. Okay, so basically, I gave him a hint, and I said, what did I say? I said I help her every now and then with a choice or two, but it's rare. But you can bet that she has a bunch left. Just a matter if she will finish on time or not. So that was my little hint to him as like you know, you need to really consider the fact that people could have a lot of tasks left. Like, this happens all the time in Mega, you guys. People think that they're moving at a steady pace, and they're not, and they end up having to crunch for time on the last day. So at the last day, the last like 24 hours of the contest is the most brutal most of the time. It's where everybody's fighting for the top, and it also matters on their time zone. Some of these people set alarms. Some of these people, this is their morning, so they jump on and they just kick your ass, you know. But at my level especially, you never know. Okay, so it says she's not that far behind me. 27K. If he starts gaining points, I'll start using my tickets. Or if someone else gets into the competition. 4 through 6 has not moved in 8 hours. And I said, how many have you used? And he said 3. I said, and then he said, terrible average so far. And I said, okay, so saying you could hold a 2K average for 12 tasks, that's 24K more. That's risky because war ends in 10 hours. I would be using my tickets if you slack off to wait to be bumped down and you can't do, hold on, and you can't, oh, and you can't do your, it was supposed to say do your war tasks. You're going to fuck yourself, is what I said. And he said my monster will disappear around the same time, so deliveries would be out. Next ticket will open 1.9 ladders. I'll start them. So basically, I was under the impression that by me explaining to him that he's being foolish, because if he holds off on his tickets and he waits to see, what's going to happen is he will get bumped down. And when it happens, he will not be able to do a majority of his tasks because we won't be in war. So if you end up having to use them now anyways, that's a really, really bad risk, because now he's given himself limited time to do any kind of factory, any war. He can't do upgrades already. So, I mean, would you want to risk it? He has a really good chance at winning here if he doesn't slack off and be greedy with his tickets. But for the last day, or half a day to a day, I've been fighting with him about his tickets. If you don't recall, in the first video, he had gotten down to his tickets on like the second day and like 6 hours left. He had like 2 days, 6 hours left. He should have went all the way up and done about 13 tickets and held 2 and had those 2 ready in case he needed them. That's what he should have done, and he didn't. And I kept making that point, and he said, okay, I saw the screen wrong. It's a 1.2 ladder. So 1,200 ladders. And I said, prep techs. Now, this should have been done, okay? I didn't say do techs. I said prep techs. Like, that should have been done 2 damn days ago, okay? So now he's got 1 day, 14 hours left. He should have already had the techs done and collected on those techs. They're higher than the ladders. And he said updates. Now this is 1 day, 14 hours later, so same time. He does the ladders and he gets a 3K launch. Then he does a 1,200 repair, which is 12 hours later, or at the 1.12 hour. So this was 1.4 hours. So he only had 1 hour left on his techs if he had prepped them. I would have waited the 1 hour. I would have waited the 1 hour and added the extra, the extra 120 points rather than doing the repair. That's what I would have done. Okay, so then he gets to his next ticket and he says, I still have 90 minutes on techs. How? We're at 1 day, 12 hours. He should have only had like an hour at let's see. He had, when I said prep techs, where did I say prep techs? Right here. So this was Saturday at 12:42. Let's see. Let's just double check. Where is it? So at 12:42, yeah, I mean, the new tasks is a 1,600 wood. Okay, so now he needs to clear out the text without doing the task and do the wood. Because he's too low on, if this was, you know, way further into, you know, into the contest and he had this little opportunity, then we could afford to open up that spot. But right now, it's too risky. He needs the points. So he does that, and he said, sorry for the lack of updates. Had a bunch of errands to run, so now it's 2 p.m. And he gets a war task, a launch 2 war task. Now, had he waited, with like I had instructed him not to do, but had he waited, he would not have been able to do this task. So it's a good thing he didn't wait. Then he gets a 2K repair, which he does, which is the correct choice. Then he gets a 3K war deliveries. Again, had he have waited, he wouldn't been able to do this. Then he does the techs. Okay, so now we're at 21 hours, 41 minutes remaining. He's used, let's see here. He's used 11 out of 15 tickets. The leaderboard, he has 131 and Bean has 116. So she's not far behind him. You know, she's hot on his heels. Let's see here. So 4,000 to 20. So yeah, she's about 15,000 behind him, 16, right around there. Now, I had looked at her stuff and it was risky because she would have just barely been able to go above him. Okay. Now, at this time, he had 4 tickets left. So he says 11 tickets used. My last 2 tickets gave me 1K war boost, followed by a 2K Paris. Being past the guy in second, who has not moved by 3K in 2 days. The rest of the group had moved about 20K in 1.5 days. Last is my highest current task, so I will prep before bed and set an alarm for an hour before CoM ends. This will allow me to complete it and potentially a couple of other tasks if needed. Are you kidding me right now? That is the stupidest play ever. The absolute stupidest. I mean, just that one message. Dude. He says glass. Let's go look at his list. Because I wanted to look at his list and I couldn't see because of all this crap. And I don't know what because he said something about 2 war boosts and that didn't make sense to me because you can't have 2. So I'm like, did you cancel one? Did you do one? And I didn't understand. So I'm trying to understand what the hell he did. So I asked him about the war boost. He says war was over. And I said, so that's a no. And he said, okay. I said, okay, send me your list. He says, I have not used ticket 11. So it will be behind the screen, but I can send you an earlier shot. What I meant was the next available was a war boost, which I did not do. I did text. When that completed, the next top task was Paris for 2,000. What? Oh, okay, a delivery. Okay, so here he does the text, and then he says texts are gone, and in their place is a 2K Paris upgrade. I will prep glass before bed and set an alarm for an hour before CoM ends. But this here is a bad play. Why? Because the reason this is bad is had he not prepped the glass before, hours and days before, he wouldn't have had all that downtime. Had he prepped the text days before this, like he should have done, he wouldn't have been in this situation. He didn't allow himself enough time to finish. And this is why you don't hold on to your tickets like this. If you have a chance, you take it. If you don't, then you don't. You're either all in or you're all out by the time you hit tickets. You don't dink around with this, well, I'm going to do 5 tickets and then in a day and a half, we'll see where I'm at. When war's over and when I'm crunched for time and no, that's bad, okay? Now, when you add points and then you stop adding points for several hours, 10, 12, 18 hours, people assume that you're out of tasks, right? Now, when you all of a sudden put up task points because somebody got close to your score, that tells them that you're being greedy with the tickets, that you're holding out. Now, it's a gamble. You never know how many tickets that person has left, but you can bet that they're not holding out on their regular tasks. So you know that they're down to tickets, so you can count and say, okay, well, if he was running a 2K average, he went up this many points, and do the math and see how many tickets you think they could have left. Now, then he says, let's see, he says, what I meant was the next task available. Okay, so I told you this. I never responded after this. He said, texts are gone, and in their place is a 2K Paris upgrade. I will prep glass before bed and set an alarm. This was the last I spoke to him. I never even responded. I was just so done at this point that I was astounded. No. Where did he make his mistakes this week? Does anybody know? He made his mistakes every time he sat there and argued with my advice when I said, you need to be all in. It's all in or it's nothing. This trying to save one ticket and this and that, the exact thing I said was going to happen happened to him. Bean won. And why did she win? I'm going to show you why she won. Give me just a second. Okay, so this is Sunday at 2:54 p.m. Now, this time I had not responded to Elle since that whole ordeal with the glass. I had no clue what he was doing. Last I had spoke to him was that he was doing glass and that he was going to set an alarm and wake up, and that if he needed to, he would have plenty of time to finish the remaining tasks. I didn't speak with him. I didn't want to know what was going on. I wanted it to be fair. I just said, screw it. Okay, so at this time, I am talking to Bean. Now, she, at this time, had been, she had 8 tickets remaining, okay? So, the leaderboard with 8 tickets remaining, she had, it was close, okay? So, at this time, she had 106,000 points, and he had 131,000, right? So, at a 2K average, sorry. She had 117,000. I was going to say that doesn't sound right. So she had, let's see, 3, She had about 14,000 points that she had to do. Now, with 8 tasks at a 2K average, that's about 16. So it was cutting it close. And I could have told her to hold off because it was really risky for her to use her tickets. I saw that she had 102 tickets, so I decided, you know what? I think he's going to be greedy. I think he's going to hold out on those last 3 tickets. I really do. And I didn't ask him. I never talked to him. But I really felt that after he did the glass, that he was going to hold out on those last 3 tickets. So I advised her I said, I think you can beat him if you bust your ass. Try to get as many points as possible. And I said, if you can hit around a 2K average on the remaining 8 tickets, or I said, if you can't hit a 2K average on the remaining tickets, you won't come close to his score, right? Because, 8 times 2, 16. And she was about 13 to 14 behind him. And then I said, but you should secure your second place regardless, right? Prep chems ASAP, but do Paris first. Okay? And then, let's see. She got bricks, and I told her to do the bricks, and then she said the first round of chems is already done. This right here is how he should have played his textiles. That right there shows me she learned something in my CoM training course. She knew that during her downtime, she needed to prep those chems. She may never do them, but she knew that they may be a possibility coming towards the end of the game. So that was an excellent play on her part. I was impressed. If you can do it fast, if it's going to take a while, collect the first round of chems, then put down the remaining chems. What I meant was, if you don't have the bricks already done, then the best option here would be to collect the first round of chemicals, start the bricks, and then by the time those bricks are done, the second round of chemicals will be done. Okay, so let's see here. So at this point, she gets on the game. I get a message on my game, and I open the game, and he had asked her if she was going to make him use his tickets. Like, you going to make me use my tickets? It was his way of asking if she had assignments left, and that was really shady. So I said, don't answer that. Do not answer that. And it was cutting it really close. She really had to do something here that to win she had to play it right. And so I said, okay, don't answer that. Make him wonder. That's only fair. If you're playing against anybody else, you're gonna have to wonder. You don't have the courtesy of knowing how somebody else is doing. So that's not fair. You have to read what you can see, not get special treatment. You see what I'm saying? And so here she had 129,405 with 8 hours, 18 minutes remaining. Okay? He had 2,000 more than her. Now, I don't know what he's done since. I don't know if he's done that glass task. I don't know what he's done. I haven't been paying attention to him at all. So, 3 tickets left, and I said, okay. I meant, what that text is supposed to say is, will you be up when the contest of mayors is over? And she said, I can set my clock. I said, okay, open another ticket, send me your list. So the way I see it is, the moment she adds points, because I know his greedy ass is holding on to tickets. The moment that she adds points, he's going to add points, right? Now the question is, can she pass him with the 3 tasks that she has? Probably not. So what I instructed her to do was, I said, I'm contemplating having you stop on your final ticket and have the points ready to claim. Then at the last 3 seconds, you claim, because I knew that if he could save even 1 ticket, he would do it. Now, I don't know if that's what he was doing or not at this point. So I had her do the next 2 tickets that were the the highest value that she could, which was an earned coins, and then she got a medal task. Now the medal was her final task. She had 8 hours and 2 minutes. Okay, so she had 132,030 points. She had just passed him by 1,000 points, right? With 8 hours remaining in the contest. That was her final task. So for 8 hours, he had 8 hours to pass her score. Why didn't he do it? I don't know. So she says, not sure the 1,500 will do it, but that's what I have left. And I said, do not add it right now. I think he might be greedy and add one more tickets. He will watch the leaderboard, but if you're on the last 3 seconds of the contest, you click claim and you could beat him, saying that he doesn't use every ticket, right? So he should have been able to beat her, and he would have been able to beat her had he not been greedy and held that one ticket. So then what do you think happened in the morning? I woke up and I see a message in the game chat. Hang on a minute. So his score was 131,035, and the final was 132,475. Give me just a second here. Okay, so it looks like he may have looks like he saved one ticket. I don't know. It doesn't add up though. But anyways, so here's what I woke up to. It says, well, that was just mean, Bean. And then she said, good game. And he said, needed one paint to finish my last task. And then I had jumped in and started, talking to them. And, I made the point that, because basically it just started with excuse after excuse after excuse as to, why he lost. Was because he needed one paint. He didn't lose because he needed one paint. He lost because he procrastinated, because he was being greedy and he was trying to save his tickets. Okay, I understand that you guys are limited to tickets and it's risky, but if you have a chance to win, that's what those tickets are used for. That's what they're for. If you think about it like this, exactly what happened is exactly what I said was going to happen. That he was going to wait, hold off, and not be able to do any of his tasks. Now, had he not listened to me previously, he would have been even worse off, because he wouldn't have been able to do those war tasks that came across his plate. Now, because he listened to me, he was able to get as close as he did. Otherwise, like I said, he wouldn't have been able to do that 3K war deliveries or that 2K rare lunch. Now, you have to ask yourself, would you rather spend 11 tickets and possibly lose, or spend the other 4 tickets, secure your placement, and actually have a chance at winning? Had he done that, he would have won. She didn't have it. She had to play her cards just right, and the only reason that it worked was because he was greedy, and she knew that. And even if that's how I train my trainees. If you see that somebody's only adding points when you add points, and you think for a chance that they are going to hold out on you, you wait till the last minute and you add those points. Okay? So this also works with hackers. CPTs won against hackers doing this method. They would only add points when he would add points. And so the very last second of the contest, he was able to add just enough to bump them down. Now, the reason that they were doing this was to go under the radar, because once you report somebody's city for hacking, they get banned to Naughty Island, and they get a depot lock. They're unable to join regular groups, and they're unable to sell their items to players. You can't see their items in their depots. So if you suspect somebody is hacking in your league or in general, report it. You may not get confirmation from SimCity that they've taken care of it, but 9 times out of 10, if you send in the screenshots of their higher than level 10 war cards or can prove that they're hacking, they will investigate it and they will ban them. Okay, now they've been cracking down quite a bit on hackers, so be sure to take the 2 seconds out of your time to report that. And if you suspect somebody's hacking, you click the settings button here, and then you click help, and you click report player. Okay, take your screenshots, send it into EA, explain why you suspect hacking. Any screenshots that you have, go to the person's profile. I haven't even looked to see if I won the contest. I don't even know what happened. Okay, so yes, I was able to win first place in Metro, so we're going into Mega, which is awesome. And so now we are in Mega. Tomorrow morning we start War at 11 a.m. my time, Pacific time, Washington State. So if you're wanting into our group, you need to message me so that you can get a place. The Community Depot is up and running, so be sure that you watch our group rules video, watch the group video for War and the Community Depot video. Those are all super important videos to watch. Okay, so you know what? It was a fair match. He lost because of those reasons. Now, he's not the only person to do this. It happens. Now, hopefully, going forward, training him, he will understand that that this is not the time to be greedy with your tickets. Now, if you don't have a chance at winning, then don't waste them. If you think that you have a hacker, do not waste them. But do not blame not having a can of paint on losing. That's not why he lost. He did not lose because he didn't have a can of paint. He lost because he needed the can of paint. There's a big difference. He shouldn't have been in a position where he needed a can of paint to win. Had he secured his placement days ago, like I had suggested or instructed, he would not have needed it the last 3 seconds. Now, it's really easy to read players like this on the leaderboard. Their points only move when yours do. So you always assume that person has points left or tickets left. You know, he had made a comment in the group. He said, when I told him that he should have done his task sooner, he said, yeah, but she could have had more. Yeah, but she could have had more tickets. She could have, da-da-da-da. Yeah, she could have. She could have, but so could have you. And she took the risk and you didn't. That's the point. You never know what you're going to go up against. You have to take, it's a gamble, man. And when you got 2 players using the same exact method of picking their tasks and playing, it's going to come down to the 2 of you, and it's going to be damn close. Okay? Had he listened to me, he would have won. He had just enough points above her. Now, I bailed him out several times this week on some of his really bad choices that he would have made. And I saved his ass several times. Now, whether he noticed that or not, I don't know. But the point is, maybe going forward, this will be a learning experience. Not because he didn't win, but because he needs to learn from other people's mistakes. You know, yes, you got to learn from your mistakes. But there's some mistakes that you can learn from other people. You don't have to make every mistake in the world. That's why my videos are here, so I can help you guys to not make the same mistakes that I made. So for those of you out there who learn from other people's mistakes, this is an excellent example of why you do not want to be greedy with your tickets and why you need to take that chance if that chance is available legitimately. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get this posted. Make sure that you like and subscribe. We're going to be doing the Contest of Mayors competitively in Mega this week, so be sure to check that out. It's going to be a level 99 Mega, so it'll be interesting. All right, you guys.